Design Commission, please come to order. Commissioner McDonald, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
Absolutely.
All stand.
Get out of here. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
Commissioners Shannon McDonald,
Present.
Richard Despain,
Present.
Dan Tubbs,
Present.
Adam Chant,
Present.
Vice Chair April Bartlett,
Present.
Chairman Sheldon Carter.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Before I read before we move on to the next item, I'd like to introduce our new commissioner, Mr. Richard Despain.
Thank you. I'd just like to take a minute to thank Chairman Carter and the commissioners for welcoming me here, and let's get down to business.
Sounds good. I'd also like to recognize that the contribution of Sylvia Donovan, former Commissioner Sylvia Donovan, who I think left a lasting impression on all of us. Showed us a lot of her wisdom and direction, and I want to thank her for her time on the commission.
I'd like to second that.
So moved.
Let's vote.
All right. Moving on to public business from the floor. If an individual is unable to stay through the entire meeting due to extenuating circumstances, a total of 10 minutes is provided at this time, during which input may be given regarding agenda items. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Any person who would like to address the Architectural and Design Commission on any agendized item is required to complete a speaker card for the recording secretary and identify the agenda item you would like to discuss. Each person will be given an opportunity to address the Architectural and Design Commission at the time such item is discussed by the Architectural and Design Commission. Speaker cards are available at the entrance of the council chambers. And again, individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Do we have any speakers?
There are no speakers.
Thank you. Guess I should ask that question first, then I can read that statement. Okay, moving on to consent calendar. Item 1, approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of September 6, 2008. And I would like to call for a motion to continue as the meeting minutes are not available. Do I have a motion?
I'll move a motion to wait until next meeting of the ADC.
Okay, we have a motion to continue the approval of the September 6th meeting minutes until next month. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Let's vote.
Motion passes 5-0 with 1 abstention.
All right, thank you. New business. The next item is a new business director review. 1803 is first, I believe. 1845. Presented by Ms. Magana.
Good evening, Chairman Carter and members of the Commission. The item before you is Director's Review 1845 for a new commercial pad within an existing shopping center located at the southeast corner of 20th Street East and East Avenue J. The commercial retail center was previously approved under CUP 0704 by the Planning Commission on September 17, 2007. Currently, the site is comprised of Aldi's, El Pollo Loco, and all site improvements have been constructed, including landscaping, trash enclosures, and all associated parking areas. CUP 07-04 was approved on September 17, 2007 by the Planning Commission. The City of Lancaster's design guidelines were adopted on December 8, 2009. Therefore, the project site, as designed, is considered legal and non-conforming. The elevations for the approved commercial pad substantially comply with the commercial design guidelines and are consistent with the architectural style of the 2 existing buildings within the retail center. In conclusion, staff recommends that the Architectural Design Commission approve Director's Review 18-45. Staff and the applicant are available for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Magana. Do we have any speakers for this item?
There are no speakers on this item.
Is there any further discussion from the commission?
Yes, I would like to, so looking at some of the paperwork that we received and the drawings here, actually, I think this is a great example for the ground cover and the tree spacing. I definitely want to make sure that they are holding to this plan, correct? Okay. All right, thank you. That's all I have. I just want to make sure that was my biggest concern. It looks really good, and I think they looked through the design guide and brought a lot in there. So I'd like to see this continued on through into the future.
Thank you much. Any other discussion? Do we have a motion to approve?
So I will put forward the motion to approve Director's Review 1845 for the new 6,600 square foot commercial pad.
Do we have a second?
I will second that.
And you have a motion and a second. Let's vote.
Motion passes 5-0 with 1 abstention.
Thank you very much. Item 3, Director's Review of 18-47. The next item presented by Mitzi Alvarado.
Good evening, Commissioners. The item before you is Director's Review number 1847. The proposed project is a request for the approval of elevations and floor plans for the 148 single-family lots located within an existing subdivision in the R7000 zone. There are 6 different floor plans that vary between single and 2 stories and 5 architectural elevation styles included in all 6 of the floor plans. The lots are located within 3 different previously approved tracts. Tract 61489 was approved by Planning Commission in 2005 for 152 single-family lots. It's the bigger tract located on the northwest corner of 50th Street West and Avenue J8. There are 13 lots along Bayberry Road, which were previously constructed in 2007 and built to completion at an administrative level. The applicant is requesting approval for the remaining 139 single-family lots. There is also tract 67582, comprised of 8 single-family lots that went before Planning Commission and got approved on June 18 of 2007, and all 8 lots are now included in the applicant's request for approval. To the east of 50th Street West is tract 54197, which was approved by Planning Commission in 2003 for 307 single-family lots. The subdivision was built to completion in 2006, except for the 1 vacant residential lot that has remained undeveloped on the south side of Spur Avenue. The proposed project includes 6 different floor plans. The square footage of the homes will range from 1,592 square feet to 2,082 square feet for the single-story plans 1 through 3, 2,375 square feet to 3,048 square feet for the 2-story plans, which are 4 through 6. The 5 architectural elevation styles that are proposed are Spanish, California Prairie, Traditional, Craftsman, and Italianate. Porch sizes vary depending on the architectural style, from 72 square feet to 172 square feet, and all 5 architectural elevation styles are included for the 6 floor plans. The proposed project provides diversity in design through the considerate attention to architectural character and floor plan livability. The development is designed so that the front yard area emphasizes attractive residential developments And all proposed homes include a minimum 76 square foot porch as part of the defined point of entry. So in conclusion, staff recommends that the Architectural Design Commission approve Director's Review number 1847. And at this point, I want to turn the attention to my applicant. They have a PowerPoint presentation for you guys as well.
All right.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Tommy Ekus. I'm with Richmond American Homes. I'm a project manager for them. I'd like to thank you guys for your time. As some of you are aware, we were here last month where we kind of did a cursory review. We presented to you guys what we would like to go in with. At that time, we heard a lot of great suggestions from you guys. We took those suggestions, we went back, we hurried, we scrambled, and we incorporated the majority, if not most of those suggestions, into all the elevations as well as all the floor plans to come up with the plan and elevations that we're very happy with and that we hope you will be happy with, as well as the city of Lancaster. I'd like to turn it over to Gary Cunningham, the architect of the job. He's with William Hesmahal Architects. He's going to run you through a quick couple slides to show you what we added to the plans based on your comments, and then we'll be available for questions afterwards. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners, and thank you for having us tonight. Just one moment here. Once the staff is able to
Those. Larissa, can we have those turned down just a little bit so we can see the screens? Thank you.
I believe all the commissioners have a colored, very large colored booklet. Would you like one? Oh,
Yeah, I got it.
I have this one, but I also have a black and white copy. Okay. Lighting is good.
A little bit more intimate setting now.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. As the commissioners are aware, there is existing homes on the site, and I believe that one of the first photos on or in your packet, not everything's loading here. See if I can. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably too large. It's probably a large file. Yeah, let's see if I can advance it from the remote. Okay. I think it was probably networking. Okay. Thank you. Sorry for the delay here. The top cover page is basically the overall theme of the plans as well as the architectural styles. Since last month, we went back to our office working with our staff, and unfortunately we have the same error, so I think I will have to work off the booklets tonight because the screen just went again. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's probably the size of the file. Okay, so I will lead and guide you through, so I guess lights would be good. And I'll guide you through the large booklet by the sheet number on the bottom right corner, if I can do that for you. So on the cover page, 6 on a cover, you will see the overall architectural styles. We take into heart the Commission's comments from last meeting on the introduction. We went back and we carried through the theme of the exterior elevations to the rear and to the sides. So as you will go through the set, and you'll be able to pick up those elements on the sides and rears, and those can be found on sheets 1.5, 1.4 to 1.5. It's kind of a typical one story where the rear architecture is complementing the front. And the next page, you will also see the left and right. Part of the guidelines, if a house is more than 50 linear feet, we break up the wall plane, and as well as we place shutters. So you will find shutters on the left elevation, and then you'll have the wall break, which is the lower shelf. That was similar to the last applicant that we went through and took a look at their drawing. That was approved. On the next page, page 1.5.1, you will actually see the enhanced location. This is when it's in a corner lot exposed to the street. And I actually had a PowerPoint overall site map that actually designated those lots. You will probably find it in the front of the book. It will be an overall site plan with a red line around the perimeter of the properties. That will tell you where the actual enhancements occur. So for example, if this house was on a corner lot, sheet 1.5.1 would be that elevation if that house was plotted on the lot. So you have a larger pop out with a shed roof element, with a recessed window and shutter application. So moving through the package, and I'll try to highlight it. As you go to sheet 1.7, again, this is the Onyx plan. This is a different elevation style. You will have gable end treatment in the high gables as it is on the front elevation carried around. You will also see the material changing as it complements the front elevation, now carried to the sides as well. The brick is returned to the fence line. That's on sheet 1.7. You will see it along the gas meters. The brick is carried back to the private fence line. If the stone or brick veneer is applied to the front of the elevation on the front wall, it would appear also on the left. But in certain elements or cases, that stone or brick may not be at that location as depicted on the front, wrap it around the corner. Let's see. Similar detailing is applied through the set. The next one, 1.9, it kind of repeats itself. Whatever's on the front is carried to the gable end, sides, and rears, as well as the enhancements for the large pop-outs that occur on enhanced lots on corners or rears. Let me see if I can fast forward to another plan. Same theming or rhythm of detailing is applied to the package. We were last here, we talked about a particular Spanish style by accenting the front, and that could be found on sheet 3.3. So we're going to take you up to the agate plan. This is a Spanish where it has decorative tiles around the entry to accent the entry point. Wrought irons placed in the upper gables. So moving along, let's see if I can find another example. If you turn to 3.4, this is the front elevation and the rear elevation. You will see how the detailing of the front is the top, carried to the bottom, which is the rear application. Shutters, wrought iron, enhancements. Left and right, which is found on 3.5. You will see the same detailing, same rhythm. So since last meeting, our office has worked very closely with Richmond to execute the detailing as requested and per design guidelines into these 6 floor plans with 5 elevation styles. This has been a very large task to execute this in a short amount of time and get it to colored and get it back to staff. I'll take you now on to a 2-story, and you can see how that also carries through a package of typical plans and elevations. Let's see if I can get you up to the Pearl. Let's try to advance up to sheet 4.3. Let's try to go there. Again, same elevation styles, but now we have a 2-story. Let's advance a few pages. Let's start with 4.4, please. Front and rear. As shutters will appear on the front, detailing will appear on the front, is now also carried to the rear. You have lower elements that are below the fence line applied just like the 1-story, as well as 2-story elements. This is the shutters, the gable end treatment, as well as additional shutters that would be applied at an enhanced. So I will advance you now to sheet 4.5.1. This is a side at an enhanced. So now we have a full pop-out bay, 24 inches, with a shed roof, as well as additional shutters activated and windows activated at the enhance in the upper portion of that left elevation.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm sorry, did you say that they're on the sides as well, or just the back, the front and the back? The shutters and the
Shutters
other,
are on all sides.
all sides, okay.
Yeah, all sides. When the front elevation has shutters for that style,
Right.
then they're repeated on the sides and rears.
Okay.
So without walking you through a large phone book of drawings, I'll be glad to answer questions or any specifics, but you'll see the repeating elements and design elements carried through on 1-stories and 2-stories through each of its style. Color schemes are listed in the back of the book. For questions, we also have a site plan that is colored, which has the undulation of the streets, of the homes on the street. So we did take that to heart, and we worked with Civil to adjust for that as well. Let's see what else is highlighted. Landscape is also in the back of the set for reference. And I believe the sheet index is found in the front first 2 or 3 sheets of the entire package will be your sheet index to any plan specific or drawing image you're looking for. So again, to repeat, since last month, listening to KB Home's presentation and what they came back with, I studied the first presentation. I was here for the second presentation. I presented informally, kind of a blush of what we're presenting, went back, listened to the commissioner's comments and recommendations as well as staff's report, addressed staff's report, adjusted the plans, and I'm in front of you tonight for that.
Well, I think you've addressed, as you said, almost all of our concerns. What did we do? We had a pretty in-depth conversation last month about the porch.
Mm-hmm.
And what did we do? Did we do anything
Yes.
to make those adjustments? What was?
Yeah, so let me get you to a page.
And I commend you for keeping us on track without your PowerPoint
Yeah.
there.
Thank God there's numbers on
appreciate it.
pages tonight. Okay, let's go there. Yes, yes. So 6.0 as well as 6.0.1, the next page. So what we have done is we've made sure that we comply with the dimensions, and then we've also listed the square footages of each elevation's porch, and we've also provided partial floor plans like the last applicant had done to address the porch configurations. This is a typical example of what's in the set. So each porch elevation will have its square footage listed underneath the word porch, as well as clear dimensions for usable spaces as requested per the design guidelines.
Thank you. Does that meet your satisfaction?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have a question. Commissioner Donovan had brought up something about the houses not repeating every other. Wasn't that supposed to be spaced every 2 or every 3 for each floor plan? Because what I'm seeing here looks like every other is the blue
Are you looking at a site plan right now?
4.
Are you
Yes.
looking at the colored site plan?
Yes.
Let me see if I can get there for you.
And to speak to that, we're keeping the single-story houses in one section of the site and the two-story houses in the
I
other.
see that.
The reason being is if you have a two-story next to a single-story,
Privacy.
it can get a little weird. So we found from our previous experience that they sell better and the community actually is stronger when the two are separated. So we have three floor plans for each one. So that's why it's staggered at every 3.
It's not staggered at every 3, though. You have the purple model, the plan, what is it, plan 1?
Can you give a lot specific?
Plan 4?
Can you give a lot number, please?
So she would be saying like lot 51 is too close to 49.
But they're, what, a 5A to a 5E?
Yeah, so the floor plans would be, like for example, if you go to sheets 2 of 5 in the site plan section.
It would be the first.
Yeah,
52nd and W Avenue.
J5.
or J. So this would be lots 51, 52, 49, 48, 47 is a good example.
So you have 2 plan 5s, right? On lot 51 would be a plan 5. Then you would have I believe that's plan 6 on lot 50, and then lot 49 would again be the plan 5. However, they're 2 different, those plan 5s on 51 and 49 are 2 very different elevations and 2 different color schemes.
Okay.
So that's how we're getting around that.
Okay,
By only having 3 floor plans, it's
So also part of staff's comments was PL3, item A. They listed specific lots they wanted us to address. We did address those, as well as the mix to make sure the elevations are different, not just addressing these as well. So these were identified as conflicts against staff's, actually against guidelines. So we addressed these as well.
Okay. You good? Is there any other questions?
Yeah, I just have a couple of questions, General. The garages that I see, the single, that's an add-on for the buyer?
Yes, Commissioner, first name is Sylvia.
Donovan.
Ms. Donovan, thank you. She had pointed out that a possible 3-car would be possible if we would set that back from the original 2-car.
I see.
So you'll see a representation of it in dashed format.
Yeah.
We were able to accommodate all but one plan at 12 feet. One of the plans, if we pushed it back to 12 feet, I would lose the life safety egressing out of a bedroom, and it would landlock it. So I only have one plan that doesn't exactly meet that criteria. Now, having as an option, it's not a pre-plot, it's a home buyer has an option choice to buy that, and I can't say even if someone's going to actually select it. It's probably a 5% to 10% chance somebody probably would.
Sure.
So,
Very good. Can you talk about the landscaping on the homes? Are you doing desertscape in the front, or just, can you explain that to me a
So
little
it's
bit?
still in the conceptual phase. Yes, we would be doing kind of a zero-scape per the county water guidelines, that we're kind of restricted to that. We're following the standard street tree implementation. What we do differently in Richmond is we put like a shade tree, a large shade tree. We'll do a flowering tree and then some shrubbery and kind of desert scape in front of all of them. We actually have we have 6 different front yard typical plants, which can be found on sheet L4.
In the back.
Yeah, and those will be scattered. Each we select those based on plant type, the elevation, and it provides a really good streetscape, very different streetscape as well as you progress down it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any further questions?
Just one. Can we make sure that when you're doing the landscaping, that we make sure we keep in mind that we are in the desert and we don't want to have too much of the no tree thing going on? Like, I understand we're trying to conserve water. There's other ways we can conserve water besides not having very much green. There's recycled water. There's all kinds of different options. I just don't want to have more homes and no shade.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
just creates too much heat. They're heat islands, become heat islands when you got everybody that doesn't want the greenery. It's just too hot for that.
Yeah, we will definitely keep that in consideration. We have to stay with what the city code is and what the county code is.
I understand
Yeah,
that.
we'll do our best.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just want to say thank you guys for taking all of our observations that we previously provided and wrapping them up in a complete and thorough breakout like this. I haven't spoken a lot about or questioned anything because I think you guys addressed almost every single issue that I had expressed and that Ms. Donovan had expressed in the previous meeting. So I just wanted to say thank you for the effort. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, very much appreciate you bringing it to us last month to get a look at it and taking our comments and some guides and direction. I think it's a very beneficial practice. Thank you for making that happen. I think it turned out well, and again, appreciate you gentlemen incorporating the suggestions as you have. I think everybody's satisfied that was done to the best of your ability, minus the one that physics just doesn't allow. But thank you for that. So, do you have any speakers on this one?
No
Sorry.
speakers on this one.
No speakers? All right. If there's no further discussion, can we have a motion, please?
I move that we approve item number 1847.
Do we have a second?
I will second that.
All right. Let's vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you, Mitzi.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, the next item is a new business site plan review number 18-03. And can we get a staff report, please, from Marlon Cervantes?
Good evening, Chairman Carter and members of the Architectural and Design Commission. This item before you is Site Plan Review 1803 for new 19,860 square foot multi-tenant industrial building. Subject property is located at the southwest corner of Division Street and Carriage Lane. The site layout and building follow consistent standards set forth in the design guidelines to ensure compatibility with existing and future facilities in the City of Lancaster's industrial zone. Pedestrian access to the project site is provided at various locations and made inviting through the use of landscaping and walkways leading directly to each of the customer entrances in front of the building. The grade-separated pedestrian walkway abuts the front and sides of the building and maintains a consistent landscape design seen throughout the project area. Walls exceeding 75 feet in length and 3 feet in height are screened with various landscape features, including honey mesquite trees and daylilies. The trash enclosure is also buffered by a 6-foot wide planter and screened using similar landscape features. All electrical equipment servicing the site will be located within the building and screened from public view Mechanical equipment will be located on the roof of the building and will be screened through the incorporation of a parapet. The landscaping materials used on the project site are included on the City of Lancaster's plant list and have been indicated as average to low water usage plants. The trees will be a minimum of 15-gallon size and 24-inch box when planted. Shrubs will be a minimum of 1-gallon size, and ground cover will be no further apart than 6 inches on center. The number of trees provided on the site will exceed the Lancaster Municipal Code requirement of 1 shade tree plus 1 shade tree for each 4 parking spaces. The proposed building maintains a consistent design throughout, all while providing articulation of all facades and reinforcing the concept of 360-degree architecture. The primary massing materials used for the facade of the building are a variety of split-face concrete masonry unit styles and colors. Articulation all around the entire building is achieved through the use of vertical and horizontal bands. A cornice along the roof line of the building, a wainscot accent, and aluminum frame canopies above each of the building entrances, including the loading area in the rear. Overall, the project site incorporates features that are consistent with those in the City of Lancaster's design guidelines and meet the goal of enhancing the community's image, pride, and quality of life. Staff recommends that the Architectural and Design Commission approve Site Plan Review 18-03.
Thank you very much. Do we have any speakers on this item?
No speakers on this item.
No speakers? Is there any discussion from the commission?
Yes, I have a few items on this. First, I'd like to start with the east and west elevation. I'm not sure which page this is, SPR-4. So on the east and west, there's no shading going over, and I'm assuming these are windows and openings on the side like we have on the front. Is there any intent to put any covers over top of those windows?
The applicant and his architect are here.
Okay.
They can address any of those concerns.
Please come to the podium.
Yeah, please.
Hello, George Lane, John from AV Engineering.
Evening. Good to see you. Good to have you.
So, gentlemen, I guess the question on this building, I'm looking at it, we have in the front the shade for the windows in the front. How about on the east and west side? Is there any plan to put anything to provide any shading for those windows on that side of the building? Give it a little more depth also.
Yeah, on the east and west sides, it's spandrel glass, what we're proposing on the east and west side. And the reason why it's spandrel glass is because the owner didn't want to give up any more wall space if they have, uses that, interior uses.
But on the front of the, when there's signage, then the door entry, you've got I'm assuming a metal shade coming out?
Correct, yes.
So the east and west sides, you're not intending to do anything along the sides? I mean, it doesn't show it in here. I see that you're using the cinder block on the sides, but that's something that we're looking for, is to have the shades on the side. So, because that,
We could add
see what I'm saying?
if
Yeah,
that's-
because
if that's-
it's going to, one, provide, keep the heat down, and that's something we've been looking at in the past here, and that's in the design guide. So that's something that we'd like to see
Okay,
added here.
we could add those.
Any other discussion from the commission on that?
Yeah, just for my own clarity, what you're suggesting is along the lines of the last presenter, some of the comments we made to them, to have your front fascia design carry around
360 architecture, but at the same time, it does provide the cooling and the shading.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to clarify for myself.
Yeah, thank you. And then one more, another item. So with the trees for the landscaping, I'm not sure if the trees on the exterior meet the requirement of every 30 feet. It looks about almost 40 feet per tree. If you could take a look at that, I'm not sure if it's spaced out correctly to give enough shade. And then I do have another question. The trash enclosure, is that not supposed to be built with a cover, like a pergola or some sort of a cover over top of that? Is that not a design requirement? I thought that was... Sorry?
I don't remember it being covered. Is it required to be covered?
I don't think it's required to be covered.
I think it's enclosed, but I don't
I
believe
thought it
it's
was,
covered.
okay.
I could be wrong.
I don't believe it's supposed to have a cover exactly, but it should have some level of architectural detail
Architectural detail.
that's compatible with the existing building.
Right.
And that's what this was trying to accomplish.
Okay. Right, and then that's all I have on that. So, thank you, gentlemen.
So I do have some questions about the treatments that are going to be occurring that back up to the, I believe this is the one that has a residential behind it.
No, it's the Arco gas station to the south.
To the south.
And the other lot to the south is industrial, so that's vacant at this time. All the lots surrounding are industrial.
So I'm just trying to orient myself to this. There's a building here, and you're building on this lot.
Correct, we're building the south
And then,
side.
and then the Arco is at the corner, and then the Circle K across the street.
Correct.
Gotcha. Good answer. So is there any further questions?
Yeah.
Any more discussion?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. So the lot itself, is that going to be asphalt or concrete?
Concrete.
Concrete?
Yes.
Entirely. And what about the roof? Are you going to have an albedo roof?
I'm sorry, about the roof?
Yeah, a reflective white roof?
It
Or?
would be, yeah, it would be a cool roof, reflective.
Oh, very good. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. If there's no more discussion, do we have a motion? Oh, we'll table the motion, the call for the motion. We have one more question.
What's the percentage of parking ratio for this building?
It's on the site plan here. So they are required to provide 50 spaces. The applicant is providing 61.
61, you said?
Correct.
All right.
This is a 19,000 square foot building
Correct.
and 50 parking spaces?
Yeah, it's one for every 400 square feet of area.
Is there any more questions? No, it's not. Do you have any more questions? Are you good? Okay. All right. So we'll come back to a call for a motion. Can we have a motion?
I will motion to approve site plan review number 1803.
Do we have a second?
I will second that.
Let's vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And next order of business is public business from the floor, non-agendized items. This portion of the agenda allows an individual the opportunity to address the commission on any subject regarding city business. Under state legislation, no action can be taken on non-agenda items. Members of the public should be aware of this when addressing the commission regarding items not specifically referenced on the agenda. Please complete a speaker card for the recording secretary, and individuals have 3 minutes each to speak. Are there any speakers?
There are no speakers.
Okay. Well, we'll move to the next order of business, which is adjournment. We stand adjourned to the regular meeting to Thursday, November 1st, 2018 at 5 p.m. in the Lancaster City Hall Council Chambers. Everybody enjoy your evening.